Hey everyone, my name's Samuel here at Sovereign Kennels. Today I wanted to talk about grooming an Afghan, specifically bathing an Afghan. I thought this would be a really good day to go over some of my bathing techniques. They might differ a little bit from some of the other mentors you might have had, but I just wanted to go over what I do on a typical basis. Today I'm going to be grooming one of my females. Her name's Moray. I got really sick and I actually couldn't groom for about 3 weeks. So she might be pretty matted. She's in season right now as well, so she's kind of gross in the back end. As you see behind me, this is my yard. All my dogs go out every day in big yards, so they typically pick up some leaves, some brush, some grass, whatever. So I'm going to talk to you about using a pump and how to use a pump to get everything out. It might be a bit of a long video, so make yourself comfortable, and hopefully you will learn a few things. All right, we'll get started. First thing I'm going to do is talk about some of the tools. So I'm going to turn. All right, so today it's a really nice warm day outside. So I'm going to be grooming outside in my booster bath. I really like using this all summer. I love being outdoors. And so this is a great way to have an elevated tub outside. I use a pump. So this is my pump. It's 1/3 horsepower and it's just a submersible pump. You can spend a bit more money and buy what's called a HydroSurge pump. HydroSurge pumps to me do the exact same thing as this. I actually have it connected to a foot pedal. So I just step on the pedal, turns the pump on, I let off the pedal, turns the pump off. There's multiple ones you can get. Some that you press once and it turns it on, you press it again, it turns off. This one you have to actually compress and hold down. I run a hose to hot water. So I just have a typical nozzle. I normally always use the shower mode. I don't use any of the other modes except for like trying to get bubbles out of the bathtub. But shower mode is the one that I use for just a regular garden attachment. A few of my soaps, sorry, I'm going to be on and off screen. Some of the soaps that I use, I actually really like Suave, the coconut and shea butter. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to zoom in when I edit the video. So I use the coconut and shea butter shampoo and conditioner. I use Dawn dish soap. Dawn dish soap is really great to strip any oils or things like that that your dogs may have picked up either through grooming products or out in the yard. Easy Groom is another really nice stripping shampoo. Has a little lion on it. This is great. Very similar to Dawn. About 10 times the cost. Light colored dogs, I like using Quicksilver. This actually is a horse product, but it is a whitening shampoo. So I have a Domino dog that I really like using that on. I live in North Carolina, have clay soil, so they pick up a lot of that redness. So that really helps get rid of the redness. I always clean the dog's ears out as well. Just put a little bit of liquid inside their ears. Special, I make it myself. But you can get any ear cleaner and just make sure to clean out the ears when needed. I don't do it every bath. I only do it when they need it. It's very easy here in this humid area for them to pick up ear infections with too much moisture in their ear. And so you don't want to add more moisture unless they need it. That's about it. Those are my grooming tools for the tub. The most valuable tool I have is my pump. I know a lot of people do not groom with a pump. And I just don't know how you get a super clean dog without it. Afghans have so much hair, especially the boys really getting around their pee area, the girls, especially the one I'm doing today in season, trying to get all of that, and without wasting water. You know, you use a finite amount of water in the base of your tub and you just recycle it. And so you will see I typically do 2 to 3 shampoos and then a conditioning. Today I'm actually going to do what I call a reverse bath. So I condition first, and then I wash, and then I recondition at the end. The reason I condition in the beginning is because she hasn't been done in a few weeks. I know she's gonna have mats, and I know she's gonna have debris in her coat. So with those 3 things, I wanna get it super hydrated, a lot of oil inside the coat, and hope everything flush out, wash all that out, and then recondition with the final end. So I'm gonna go grab her, I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. This is Moray. She is almost 2 years old. This is her second heat cycle, so I know she's going to be starting to drop coat as well with this. So it's really important when they're in season to probably wash them a little bit more frequently to reduce the amount of mats they have. But typically what I do first, I just wash them, get them rinsed out really well, and feel the coat. Feel what you're working with. Don't just get a dog wet, right? We want to actually see what's in there, what problems we're gonna have, and what debris might be inside their coat. Like I said, my dogs don't just live on like a cement run. My dogs go out every day, run in big open areas where there's just a lot of debris, a lot of leaves, branches, all that. And I can feel right now, in between her front legs, she has some stuff going on in there. I'm assuming it's crabgrass, my nemesis out here. But I'm just gonna get her really, really rinsed down. Remember, when you're rinsing her and you run into debris, don't rip it out. Let it just flow out with the water. If it doesn't flow out with the water, like that stick just popped right out, cool. If it sticks into their coat, do not rip it out. Just let it sit. That's the point of all the shampooing we're gonna do and the conditioning we're gonna do, is it's gonna get it nice and oily and it's gonna help it fall out on its own. Right. So once we get them rinsed out, she's still a bit dirty. You're not going to get them clean by just rinsing, right? So what I'm going to do next is just make sure that the tub itself is cleaned out as well. You do not want to have a dirty tub trying to clean the tub. Then I actually have a little plug that is just a small rubber plug. And I put it inside the hole. I took the hose off of this, so it's just a flat, smooth hole that the water runs out. And I'm gonna fill this up pretty much till it wants to overflow off the back of this tub. So that's about the amount of water. I'm gonna guess it's about 2 gallons of water. In that, I'm gonna put a pretty liberal amount of conditioner. Again, she hasn't been done in a while. I can feel she has quite a bit of debris in her coat. She's tangled up under her armpits and things like that. So I've put in quite a bit, probably about half a cup actually for the 2 gallons of water. So I'm just gonna let that fill up. I'm gonna step on the pedal. As it fills up and gets the right amount of water, you can engage the pump to start circulating. And then I just go through and I always start actually in between the front legs. The most tangled spots and the areas with the most debris is where I typically start. And so as I'm doing this, what I'm doing is I'm running my fingers through the coat. And if I feel like I can just put like my pointer finger, my thumb into an area and open it like this, that's just gonna help separate the hair. Again, sticks should just start falling out. Any debris will just get coated with oil from this conditioner. You're rehydrating that hair while you're doing this, and you're just kind of allowing things to fall back into place, relax down. Now, again, if you feel stuff that's not coming out easily, do not pull it. Just use your fingers to separate. I can feel a bunch of stuff that's starting to fall out right now. I'm not pulling on anything. I'm just letting all of the hair separate, using the pressure of this pump and the conditioner itself. I do sometimes use another product. I didn't bring it out here with me. I might regret that. But it's another horse product called Cowboy Magic, or there's a second one from a different company called Shoshi. Those are like a mane and tail detangler. Essentially all they are is oil. They actually help, it's like a dirt prohibitor, I guess. So it helps repel dirt itself. And I really do like adding that into this segment as well. And the good thing about this is you're only using about 2 gallons of water. If you do feel like this is getting clogged up, it's just a water breaker. That's what I use on the end of the hose. It's called a water breaker. If it starts to get gummed up with stuff, just take it out of the tub and hose it out. Just let all that debris and hair that's been collecting from the pump sucking up, shooting out, it's gonna get stuck in there. So just turn it over, put it back, screw it back onto the end of the hose, and you can start again. Turn, babe. But what I'm doing is I'm just gonna go back over both sides with this conditioner. And the objective right now is not to completely do the dog. I know it sounds a little silly, but all we're doing is we're going in and we're coating, getting all the hair really, really wet, trying to get this oil throughout the coat and lube everything up that's in there. And I can feel her entire coat's already relaxing and falling apart a little bit. Any of the debris that's in there is just kind of separating. You can see me working here on the back end. She's pretty icky from being in season, and she has some sticks and stuff. It's crabgrass. So you can see I just kind of gently pull the hair apart around the crabgrass, and then it just pops right out. I'm not breaking any hair. I'm not ripping any hair out. I'm just allowing the pump to coat everything and allowing all of that debris to just separate and slip right out the hair. I can feel she has a pretty good mat right here in the front, and it's just really bound up with crabgrass of all things, which is the biggest thing that I fight here in my yard is crabgrass. So I'm just allowing the pump to really flow through it. Again, I'm just using fingers to help separate the hair gently, and as you separate the hair, it's just going to allow the water and the conditioner to go in and kind of just work things out on their own. It's not going to work out. It's not like your mat's just going to like disappear, right? We have a whole process of grooming right now. We have a big day ahead of us, even sometimes 2 days. There are some times when I will groom half a dog, start the whole process over the next day and groom the other half. I don't want my dogs to be uncomfortable, and I don't want them to be upset with me, and I don't want them to hate the grooming process. So if things like this where, you know, you get sick and you can't groom your dog, or, you know, if you go out on a hunt, I know a lot of people have Afghans that do lure coursing and they try to go out and do stuff out in, you know, in the forest here in the south and my area, North Carolina. You know, they pick up a ton of debris and they can just get bound up in their coats really easily. And so this whole process will help you protect and save your coat. So that way you're not having, you know, to cut out mats, you're not having to rip all the hair out when you're trying to pull the debris out. This is a really good, safe way to protect coat. So I've got her really well done. I'm just gonna drain the tub now, and I'm gonna rinse her out. Do a really, really good rinse. Now, when you're rinsing, sometimes you'll actually get more debris out in the rinsing process than you do in the actual conditioning or washing process. And I feel like it's just because as you're washing stuff out, things are slipping down through the hair and they're coming out in that clean water. Again, it's not magic. It's not just going to all fall out. It's going to take some work, and we just want to be careful. Things that slide right out of the coat, pull them right out of the coat. Things that are stuck in there, leave them stuck in there. Do not rip their hair out. So here I can see she has a really big, I don't want to really call it a mat, it's not a mat, but she has a lot of debris that's kind of binding the hair up. And as I'm rinsing it out, I kind of feel through it. I feel around it, I feel where the hair is not tangled, and I feel where the hair is tangled. Super important when you're grooming, know what you're grooming. So all I'm doing is putting in a couple of fingers, or even my whole hand can fit in some sections. just open your hand and pull it apart. If you need to, you can take 2 hands, grab it, and just gently open it. Again, if you start feeling and hearing hair popping, it's breaking the coat. Stop doing that. We'll get that out with the brush on the table. One trick that I will tell you that I really use a lot is if I do have like a stick, or even sometimes the crabgrass. Sticks grow in one direction on a tree, right? So then they put these little nodules on where the little branches or anything start growing off of the main branch. So if it's stuck in the dog's coat, find which direction is actually the base of that stick. And then you can actually just pull it through. That's the direction it went into the coat, like a foxtail, has a head and a tail end. Find the head where it goes into the coat, and as you pull it out, all the other branches should be facing down. So that way you're not trying to pull it out against like a barbed hook, right? You're not trying to pull it out against that. You're actually just pulling it with the direction of the way it wants to move through the coat. That's really going to be a saving grace. Sometimes if there's a stick in there, just break the stick into little bitty pieces. One big stick will get stuck. A million little pieces will fall out with this shampooing and conditioning process. You can see here, this is already all the debris that's just fallen out of their coat, out of her coat. Just by this, not even pulling on it, just by washing it. I can feel the whole front of her has already started to relax. That tangle that was there with all that debris is starting to fall back down, relax with the weight of the water and the weight of the conditioner, and a lot of that debris is starting to kind of work itself down to the tips and to the ends. All right, so once you get the dog rinsed out, another really important thing to do, probably one of the most important things, is wash your pump. Go underneath, make sure that any hair and debris that's on the bottom is pulled out. Make sure to wash it really good so nothing's in there. Okay, I'm gonna take the water breaker, the end of the nozzle off of the pump's hose. And if I didn't say before, I use a 6-foot hose. That's a really good length to connect to the pump. It reaches front and back of the tub without running out of space. Again, just take the nozzle, spray into the holes. You're gonna get backsplashed a little bit, but it's okay. Feels good on a hot day like today. We're probably at about 77 degrees right now and probably about 80% humidity. Pretty humid day today. Once that's clean, just connect it back in. And then we're gonna take our stopper, put the stopper in, fill your tub up with water. Okay. Let this fill up as full as we're gonna use it again. So about to the base of the back of the tub where they jump in and out. And you can see here, I've been kind of showing along the way, but here's some good grass. I don't know if you can see that, but it's all crabgrass in my yard. That's still. So make sure to collect it. Don't just throw it back in the yard. I'll show you when I'm done here. I have an area right off the house where the dogs go in and out through their doggy door. It's about 30 by 30, all cement and gravel. So after I bathe my dogs, what I do is I just let them hang out in here. Again, today's a really humid, warm day, so they can hang out here for about an hour, 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours. You want them to semi-dry before you blow dry them. You do not want them to 100% dry before you blow dry them. You're gonna start ripping coat out again if they're 100% dry. And you don't wanna blow dry them when they are sopping wet either. It's kind of one of those things that you need to find the right moisture content in their coat to help brush everything out without damaging the coat. So 2 dry can and 2 wet can. All right, so I have just plain clean water in the base of the tub. Just empty, go like that. Flush your system out. Make sure all, just for a couple of seconds, it's fine. But you just want to flush fresh, clean water through your pump and through your hose and through the nozzle, so you're not taking that dirty water from the previous bath. We did a conditioning. So from that conditioning, we don't want any debris or anything like that. So just pure water, run it through again. Now I'm actually going to use Dawn. I want to strip some of this stuff out. I just do a good healthy squirt, probably about a tablespoon is all you need of Dawn dish soap. It goes a long way. So tub's full, put the hose to the side, grab my hose to the pump. Now I just kind of spray it directly back into the bottom of the tub. You want to make sure it gets you're going to start getting your suds going. Once your suds are coming out, then you can start washing the dogs. I always point their nose up into the air when I'm doing their head. Just kind of prop them up so you're not spraying into their eyes. And what I do with their ears, let me try to show you on this side. I open the ear and I find where the hole is. Pinch with your finger, not hard, but just pinch it closed so you can really clean the inside of their ear without going down into the ear canal. Turn the ear over, get the hole outside of the ear as well, coming down to the neck, right? So start front to back, top to bottom. I'm gonna get in between those front legs where I saw all that debris. And shockingly, Dawn does a really good job of breaking up the oils of the conditioning, and it'll really help push out some more of this debris. You will feel a big difference. From conditioner, it should feel a little bit slick and slimy, and this is gonna make your beautiful Afghan coat feel like a Briard coat. Your texture is gonna change, but that's okay, because you know that it's stripping everything out, and that's really important, to strip these coats out of all the stuff that they're holding in. So here I can feel some debris, and like I was saying earlier, some of this debris I feel it's right on the end, but it's kind of resistant to come out. So you find the direction that it wants to slide in and find the direction that's holding it there. Pull it out by the direction that it wants to slide in. So going with the way that the growth pattern of the plant or organic matter is, versus trying to pull it through like a barbed hook. I can feel such a difference already. It's really incredible. These pumps do so well to get inside these mats and tangles and push debris out. I'm laughing. I have a few dogs out in the yard right now, and one of my other females, she's such a hunter, and she's up on the fence line right now. I think a chipmunk went by, and she's really excited. Now one of the boys is going over there to help her. So I don't know, you can't see it in the camera, but the suds are just oozing out of the tub right now, which I love. So I know that I have a good amount of soap in here. I'm just running my fingers through and I'm kind of pulling it. Paisley, just trying to go through the fence. She's going to be one that I have to watch that doesn't climb the fence for the deer and stuff. We have a lot of deer in my neighborhood, and she definitely wants to go back to her genetic roots and hunt those guys. starting up high again in the back and the rear. I've kind of done her side coat. I've done this leg on the right side. That big kind of clump of stuff that I felt back here before is definitely dissipating. Chino came to there for adamant about doing whatever's good. All right. I definitely feel such a difference. It's really great. So there's a nice stick I pulled out. Again, I found that the entrance side and the exit side, and it just slides right out when you find the right end to pull. Whole bunch of crabgrass right here. If any of you guys have suggestions on how to get rid of crabgrass, please let me know. It is my nemesis in my yard. So I'm actually just kind of finger pulling this apart here. Half of it's held together by a little bit of tangled hair, half of it's held together by some of that crabgrass and other organic matter. All right, turn. If you're curious, the noose that I use is, I think it's called jelly leads and loops. They're made here in the United States. They are a polyurethane. It's just a noose, and I love it because you can go in the tub, dries right off. You can go back to the grooming table with it. Their hair does not get wrapped in it like a lot of the fabric nooses. It's really one of my favorite ones. They sell different colors and sizes. Paisley! Ooh, she's getting adamant over there. Kind of getting through the coat. Everything's really good. So much stuff has just fallen out. So much less debris in there, and most of the tangles too, just really just softening up, separating. It's going to make grooming time on the table so much easier. So sometimes a longer bath will be half the time on the table, just by allowing the shampoo and conditioner to do its job. Nice little patch of crabgrass again, and it just slips right out. There we go. Now I can see this water is getting really gross. So that's why I said I do typically quite a few different baths. I don't expect to wash the dog once and it be clean, especially not the way that my dogs live. You know, able to go out in the yard and they get wet through the dew or the humidity every day. It does rain quite a bit through our summers here. So in the rainier days, I don't let them out as often. You know, they do stay here in the gravel and cement yard more. Stay. But she is pretty dirty. Here's a stick. So again, I don't know if you probably can't see this. I can feel when I pull on one end, it just does not want to come out. If I turn my hand over and I pull from the other end, it just wants to slide out. And then you can pull the hair apart a little bit and it just popped right out. No hair on this at all. It's just the stick. And then look, all of that tangle just opens right up. So take your time when you're getting the debris out. Don't rush it. Don't think that you have to just get everything out, get the bath done. This is a breed of patience. Everything about it is patience. So much stuff. So nice. So nice. Again, the texture, you're not gonna like the texture with Gone dish soap. It's a really coarse texture. So that means you have to be a little bit softer even. But I'm gonna drain the tub out now. One trick that I found, if I put it on flat, so the water's coming out in a flat motion versus like the shower, you can just blast all of the bubbles right out the back end of the tub here. Helps it drain and gets them a little cleaner quicker. Alright, turn. I don't know why she wants to face one direction right now. Sam. Remember, pull that head up. And fresh water, I will just kind of squirt, close their eyes. I just want to make sure all the soap is off their face. And again, with that ear, open the ear up, find the base of it, plug the hole with your finger or your thumb, and then you can make sure to get the base, the back of the ear, I guess the bottom of the ear, all clean at the same time. You don't want to get like only the back, you know, one side of the ear clean and the other side stays dirty. Kind of counterintuitive, right? Lock that hole up. And I can tell I'm not getting water down in their ear because they're not thrashing their head around. If you start squirting water down their ear, they're going to thrash their head and then shaking. They will shake just with the moisture, the weight of the water on their ear and stuff like this. If you just lift their head and kind of stabilize their body, they'll stop shaking. Top, down, and in between the front. Feels so much better already from when we started to now. So much better with the tangles and the debris in the coat up here. It was pretty tangled up there. And make sure when you're rinsing, you rinse thoroughly. Don't do anything halfway. Make sure everything you do is completely done. You don't want to have a dog that you're going to do another shampooing on, right? We're going to do one more shampoo. You don't want this dirty shampoo that's in here when you start with a clean shampoo. The whole point is to clean the dog. The cleaner the dog gets, the easier it is to get the more debris out, and then the easier to get the gnats and tangles out. And now I can even feel stuff just falling out when I'm rinsing currently. And I would say at this point, with the conditioner and then that initial shampoo with the Dawn dish soap, I probably have at least 75% of the original debris out of the coat. And I'm fine with that. Once I'm done washing, I'm gonna say I'm gonna still have about 10 to 15% of the debris in there from original, but that's gonna be extremely easy to get out when we have her on the table and we're blow drying her. And that's going to probably be in a second video. I'm not going to make it in this video. This is just going to be a bathing video. So please look out for that other video about the drying. So I'm going to try to do her. I'll make sure the lighting and everything's okay in my grooming room. And that you guys can see what I do. I train all my dogs to lay down. So they all lay down when they get blow dried. And I start on their belly and in between their legs. And I essentially work from the belly up to the saddle. That really helps me to make sure their armpits get cleaned out really well. Everything gets dematted. And some of these, like, she's gonna take a little bit of time to really go through and everything. And they can just fall asleep. Turn. They can just fall asleep on the table versus having to stand. You know, some of these males, when we blow dry them, they can take 2-3 hours to blow dry if they're in full show coat and everything. The longest I ever took was 5 hours at a time. And, you know, I don't want my dog having to stand for 5 hours. It's just not very nice. Stand, stay. All right, so again, I'm just gonna rinse out the whole bottom of this tub really, really, really well. Make sure all the debris is out. Make sure, good girl. Make sure everything's clean. All right, clean the pump out again. So, I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to hold it up. But there's a lot of hair and debris that gets sucked up into the base of it. One trick that I've been told over the years, I've tried it a couple of times, not super successful with it, is use women's leggings or pantyhose, and you can actually slip that over the whole bottom. I'm assuming use probably a plus size. Don't use like a little tiny girl size. But that will help actually catch the debris. This pump I've had for almost 10 years now. It's just a rock star of a pump, and I actually have no problem with being able to just pull the hair and debris out of the bottom of it. So I'm going to set it up right again. I'm going to put my hose into the tub, start filling that up, unscrew your water breaker. That out outside the tub, don't spray it back into the tub, right? Look down in it, make sure it's all clean. Good. Continue filling your tub. And we're gonna flush some fresh water through, get that all cleaned up. So now, I'm going to use the Suave Almond and Shea Butter shampoo. I really like this product. I used it when I lived on the West Coast in the really dry climate, and now I'm using it out here even in this humid climate. And I just really like it. It really does a good job of hydrating as well as cleaning. I love the texture of their coat. A lot of people use, you know, some more expensive products that are, you know, made by Afghan people. Honestly, I personally have not had the same success with those expensive products. It might be the pedigree that I have, the dogs that I have, things like that. But for me, the Suave, it's really inexpensive, maybe $5 a bottle. And with all the dogs that I own and groom, it's really cost effective and does a really nice job. So, lift that head up, get the outer ears. Close that ear hole. Open both sides of the ears. It's a little dirty still, so I'm just going to use my fingers, scrub it. The inside of her ears are actually really clean, so I'm not going to do an inside ear cleaning. I can just see a little dirt on the ear leather itself. Scrubbed right off. You have to be careful with these dogs that have dropped ears with a lot of coat on them. It's really easy for moisture to sit in there and fester. I've noticed a lot of doodles that I've groomed tend to have really bad ear issues. They get a lot of yeast infections and things like that. I make my own ear cleaner, and it's very drying, and it attacks yeast and bacteria both. So I typically have very little issues with ears with the way that I handle the ear cleaning and process. But the biggest thing is to keep moisture out of the actual ear canal. And when you blow dry the dog, make sure you blow dry their ears really well. So here, now I'm starting to get some of that deeper nitty gritty debris that's kind of closer to the body. all the hairs relax down quite a bit. And so it's just allowing everything with each one of these washes that you do, it's just letting things continually drop down layer by layer and come out of the coat. One thing I love about this pump is you see how much water it can take, and I can be here for 10 hours and use the same amount of water. And I can just really get in between their front legs all the way up. These boys, when you're doing these males and they have this pea coat everywhere, I don't band my dogs. I don't really like them to be banded. I just use a really good bathing process to help them from breaking that pea coat area. And this pump is one of those really valuable tools that I like that helps maintain a healthy coat, in my opinion. Sometimes too healthy. A lot of my dogs have probably too much coat. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would agree with me and saying I need to rip hair out of my dogs versus trying to save them. But, you know, I want to make sure that I'm protecting the coat. I don't want to go to a dog show and have a dog with broken hair flying all over. I want it to be able to lay naturally. I know. She's really aching back here, especially from being in season. So that's a really good reason to do this video too, is talk to you guys about that. Make sure when you have a bitch in season, you're not spraying up into her personal areas, right? You want to clean it, but you want to also make sure you're not introducing bacteria, you're not introducing much of soap and stuff like that. So I always kind of put my finger around the vaginal area and I kind of just stay kind of looping around it. I don't want to spray directly onto it. That would be not so nice, and you can potentially introduce some bad stuff into there. You don't want to get a pyometra, which is an infection in the uterus itself, and you don't want to get a bacterial infection, like a yeast infection on their vaginal area either. So be really smart when you're grooming in season. Make sure to get the back area really clean. That's why I like using the Dawn dish soap. Really helps rip all and strip all of the that odor from their season off of the coat too. I have 4 males at my house right now, and 2 of them know she's in season, and 2 of them are a little curious that she's in season. I also use a supplement that I give them that helps mask. It's a natural deodorizer. It's just an herb that I give, and it is used for humans to deodorize humans' body odor. And I found from a vet is where it originally came from, and one of my Bouvier friends was talking to me about it. And so I use a product, because I'm not a vet or anything, I probably won't share that product with you guys, I apologize, but you can do some research on natural deodorizers, and if you can get it at health food stores. It's a great inexpensive product that I have found really keeps the odor down and keeps the males from being so interested. If you have a male that's been bred a few times, something, you can't really trick them. They just know what that smell is. But younger males, neutered males, things like that, they kind of are like, oh yeah, I think I should be interested, but they're not, which is wonderful. All right, so this bath was a lot quicker. I got so much stuff out, so much cleaner. You should feel that texture back in the coat again, more of that silky smoothness. Turn. It is humid out here today. I'm sweating. Probably only about 70, I would say less than 78 degrees out here right now, but I can definitely feel the humidity with this bath too. It's just radiating up me right now. So that's why I like grooming outside though. I love it. I think this is a beautiful day. The weather's so nice except for this humidity, but what's a little sweat, right? So one thing that, you know, while you're at home and you're feeling these coats, I can feel she still has stuff in her coat. She still has tangles. That's okay, right? I'm not gonna get that out. It's been like probably three good weeks since she got groomed, since I was really sick. And so the portion you're not gonna get out here in the tub, that's what we're gonna tackle on the table using a blow dryer. And, you know, I'll try to walk you through my process of blow drying. Good girl. Bring those ears around. Make sure to get all the shampoo. So this is my last shampooing. So you really, really, really want to get every little bit of shampoo out of their body. And I don't ever latch my dogs. You can see she's pretty free in here. I don't latch my dogs to the tub itself. If they jump out, I'm in a fenced in area. I'm not worried that she's gonna run away. But I have seen so many dogs, especially bigger dogs, that jump out and they go dragging a tub around their neck and smacking them in the body, and it scares them, and you know, can really be off-putting. So if you ever have a dog, you know, mine get groomed so often, they kind of just know to stay in the tub. But if you have a younger dog or an inexperienced dog, I don't ever recommend actually latching the noose to the rings in these booster baths, because it can be a little problem if they do jump out and hang themselves or drag these lightweight tubs around and scare them and make them real sour to the whole grooming process. And make sure to get really good up in those armpits and in between the legs. I kind of come in from the front, and then as you're doing this, I kind of pull the elbow off the body and wash up in there. I have seen some people, once they rinse the dog, like this is going to be my final shampoo rinse, they'll fill the tub with water only, and they'll use their pump and just hydrosurge through the whole coat again to make sure that they got everything off. I don't typically do that because I just take my time with this hose, get up in between their back legs as well. This is the time that, like around the vaginal area, I kind of just put my hand and block a lot of that main stream from hitting their vaginal area when they're in season. I've always been one that's on the cautious side about introducing a lot of bad bacteria. There should be enough backsplash and things like that that'll get on there. I do make sure it's rinsed, but I allow like the water off their back to kind of rinse over. I don't want to use the actual pressure of the nozzle to blast in the vaginal area, especially when they're in season. And here I see a lot of crabgrass right here in the front of her hawk, right in the joint. Very typical area for dogs to get matted and pick up debris. Is right there in that joint where it's flexing, opening, and closing. And it's just kind of washing out right now. Here's a little bit of it, but all that just came right out with the water. I didn't even have to pull on it at all. Right, I feel like she's pretty good. Let's do one last pass. And I can see, I will show you guys what I do when I'm done. Typically what I do after I bathe them and do the final conditioning, then the conditioning is next. That's my last thing. I just let them run around in my gravel and cement yard. And with that, I actually went through before I started this video, and I took my blower and I blew the entire patio area that she's going to be in. I made sure it was extremely clean, no loose debris. I picked up poop. You know, I did all those kinds of things. I typically wash it about once every 2 weeks, and with as much rain as we get, my cement area stays really clean. But the biggest thing is using a blower or something like that to ensure that your area that they're going to kind of hang out in and dry a little bit, that's clean. Some people just have like a 10 by 10 run. That's okay. I have a really big area. And again, that's okay. The most important thing is where they're going to be, it must be clean. No point in doing this whole process if you're going to put them in an area that's filthy with leaves and debris and stuff. They're going to suck right back up, right? So, again, clean off the soap. and stuff like that. Get all the hair, debris, anything that's in the base of your pump clean and pulled out again. And again, because we're changing from shampoo to conditioner, I want this as clean as possible. Really hose that up. So now we're gonna fill the base of our tub up. And if you're inside, if you have like a stainless steel tub inside, you know, for my winter months, I groom inside. I just prefer to be outside during the summer, spring through fall, really, whenever the weather's warm enough to be out here. I hang out outside. But the same thing in your tub at home, your stainless steel tub, just put a small amount of water in the base. Whatever pump you have, just you'll know what line you have to exceed to kind of allow the pump to suck the water up. I made a boo-boo, and we all make mistakes, right? I just shot some of the soapy water back in the tub itself, so I'm just gonna drain it. Make sure every little piece of stuff is out of here. You want this really clean. And you can see I'm kind of chucking some of the debris right here at the base of my tub. I have a can over here that I'm kind of tossing it into. And then what I do when I'm done is I spray all the soap and everything that's in the gravel below me. And it's actually on an angle. You can't really see it. I have a small angle, and it goes to right where that hanging bucket is. Goes down to my cellar at the base of those stairs outside the house in the cellar. I have a drain. So everything actually just flows right down into that drain down there, and it goes right out of the yard. So I don't really have to worry about them getting wet or dirty once we're done with the tub. Now we're back to the conditioner. Before I do that, I need to clean my water. So, really important, keep these things clean. You don't want to get your dog dirty after they've been doing all this work for so long. Keep your tools clean while you're working. Water already, it's good. And now I'm not going to put as much conditioner as I did before because she has some mats and stuff I can feel in her armpits. Even through her stifle area, she's kind of picked up some mats. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some conditioner in there. Make sure it's really diluted down in the base of the tub through the pump before you start going into the body. And then I work really hard. I try really hard not to get the saddle conditioned. Our standard reads, and the way I was always taught is the saddle should have a different texture. It should be a coarser, harsher texture than the actual side coat. So I want to make sure to condition the side coat and everything really well, but I don't ever condition the saddle. I only shampoo it. And again, just go right between those front legs, get it really good, make sure you get those armpits and any of the tangles on the belly, things like that, really conditioned. And I do take my time with this conditioner. I'll go over their whole body probably 2 to 3 times. I don't just go whoop, whoop, and done. I really take my time. I want to make sure that I get it thorough. And I always think like the first section of the dog I condition is going to pick up more conditioner, and it's going to hold that conditioner, right? So as I work towards the other side and the end of it, they're probably going to pick up less conditioner. So if you go over the whole dog 2 to 3 times, you're actually going to be washing out conditioner, spreading it thoroughly throughout the entire tub. And here I can feel a little bit of a tangle kind of in her loin, stifle area. and I'm just gently pulling it apart. Don't pull it to where you hear or feel the hair breaking. Just pull it to where you're kind of allowing that hair to separate. Turn, turn. And you can see I don't even look at my dog a lot. I look down, I look off in the distance. I feel. Use your sense of touch. That's so important when grooming. Really feel what you're doing. You're gonna have to look at some of it, but you should be able to feel like where the hair separates. Like right now I can feel a little bit of a tangle. I can feel it's a little bit loose. So I'm actually just gonna use my fingers and kind of separate it the best I can. If it's tight and I can't separate it, I'll leave it for the blow drying section of our grooming. But this conditioning spray, the velocity of this pump, like I said, I have a 1/3 horsepower. That's actually a pretty vigorous, probably about 65 psi is what I would guess is the pressure that I'm pushing into the dog's coat. That in itself is really going to help. And I actually, with the conditioner, I kind of respray the base of the tub, make sure it's cycling through there really well as well. You should feel that sliminess or some mild sliminess of the conditioner. And again, right here at the base of the hock, the inside of the hock, I can feel where some tangles are, a little bit of debris has like lodged itself in there with the joint flexes and opens. So I just want to make sure to really get in there. Make sure to get all the way to the skin. Don't just top wash or top condition your dog. Get into that coat all the way to the skin. There we go. And I can feel a little tightness, and I'm just using 2 fingers and it's just opening right up. A lot of people say that I can groom more because I'm a man, I'm stronger. This is not about strength. This is just about detail. We just want to use finger strength. That is it. I feel like anyone should be able to go in, use these tools, and do it properly without ripping coat out and not having to be a Hercules, right? You should be able to just go in and finesse the hair. All right, so I got this side really good. And like I said, I just turn them around. Step up, turn, turn. And I'm gonna go through one more time. One thing that I was taught by who I believe to be one of the best Afghan groomers I've ever known. She's now a judge, and she handled and has breeds Afghans and things like that. And she always said, don't over condition the hawk. And that's something that I've always kind of, I guess I've evolved in my grooming over the years that I've been doing it. And I kind of agree and I kind of disagree with her. In this instance, this is just a pure maintenance bath. I'm not doing it for show. I'm going to condition the heck out of these hawks. The reason I was taught not to over condition hawks is, you know, for show. We kind of fluff the hair and exaggerate angles and things like that. So when you have a lot of weight of conditioner, it's very easy to over condition, and then you get kind of separated, saggy hair. I personally, I don't want it to look like it's separated and things. I know a lot of people who completely rinse out conditioner. I do not. Right now I can see this is a little bit thick of conditioner, but because she's a little bit tangled and because this is just a maintenance bath, I'm leaving that conditioner in her. I need it during that brushing process. because she's been, you know, a few weeks and it's just not a normal 1 week a bath kind of thing. So I'm gonna leave a bit of the conditioner in her, and I'm gonna spray, like I said, the ground here does tend to get some of this buildup of shampoo. Before I let her jump out, I want to make sure she's not going to jump out into a bubble bath on the ground. So be cognizant of that. Make sure that when they're done with their bath, and I'm just going to let her run around this yard, that when she's able to run around. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. There you go. So I'll just let her shake, and then, like I said, I'll actually turn this camera around. You can kind of see. So here is my gravel yard. So I kind of just have it to where they can cruise around. There's some cots they can lay on to dry a little bit. You can see everyone's going to come check her out and say hi. The two boys, Moray, come here. I don't want her too much next to those boys because she's in season. But I'll just let her hang out here in this yard for a little while. My dog's up in the upper yard. You can see I have pretty much shade all the way, and it wraps back that direction. You can see there's a run right there. It's not a gravel run or anything, so I don't put them in that. But behind the whole house is all oak trees. So my dogs hang out for quite a few hours in the day out here in the yard. And then I have another yard over here that goes all the way back down to a road over there. So I have, this is my bitch yard, and this is typically the dog or mixed dog yard. And then here's their everyday yard that connects to the house, in and out. They can stay clean out here year round. It stays really dry. I could have a storm come through and flood the place, and in 20 minutes this is dry out here. And you can see her, she just wants to go lay down. She'll just go lay down over there for a little while and hang out. There's her sister sunbathing next to her, and that's how clean they stay, is rolling in the grass. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for watching. I hope this was informative for you, and I will try to make another video today of me drying her and talking to you about the process of when we're done with the bath, what we're going to do with some of those tangles, mats, and debris left in their coat, and how to gently get them out using your brush. I use a few different tools, so I'll go over those grooming tools in that video. Thanks guys, have a good one.